guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a drugstore highlighter collection, and I'm also going to be reviewing each product that I have. So I have all of my highlighters laid out from the drugstore that I own. I have powders and I also have creams. So I'm going to go through each individual one. I'm going to swatch it and kind of give you a mini review. And yeah, I did do one of these for foundation, so I will link that in the eye. And so you can check that one out. And let's just hop right into the video and start off with my very favorite one, just because you guys should know that this is my favorite. This is the Pixie and Aspen Ovard highlighter, the glowy powder in London Luster. This one, like, my label is wearing off how much I've used it. I really do like this one. I've used it a lot and you can't even really tell. I mean, it is just insanely pigmented. Insanely pigmented. I'm wearing this one today along with a different one that I'm going to mention from Wet n Wild. But this one's crazy pigmented. I love this one so much. And this is a more kind of, this one's definitely more expensive. And it is a little bit more of a kind of like a champagne kind of undertone. I don't know what I was doing there. More like a champagne undertone. They have one that's in, I don't know what it's called, Santorini Sunset or something. I don't know, but that one is a little bit more of a golden undertone. This one's more of just kind of a champagne-y, pearly. The next one I want to mention is new to me. I've just worn it a couple times, but I am wearing it today. It's the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. This one is in Precious Petals. This one, you guys probably know about these highlighters. They've been talked about a lot. They were limited edition last year, and then they decided, Wet n Wild, since everybody loved them, Wet n Wild decided to make them like in part of their collection, and since then they've added more shades, and they've actually added a few new ones recently. But this shade is really pretty as well. It looks so cool. I have it on today, and I think it just adds a lot of like really kind of cool glow. I really like this one. Next one that I do enjoy that is very ba-bam. So obviously the ones that I'm sharing with you right now are the ones that are very pigmented. The Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick Radiance. So this one is kind of like that radiant, it goes from light to dark, so this is good for all different types of skin tones. You can have the darker one, there's just some pinky, a little bit more lighter, so you have a bunch of options. I am just going to swirl my finger in it all and swatch it. So that's it with it all swirled. I really do like this one as well. This one's very pigmented. I did whip it out the other day and was like, whoa, this one looks really cool as well. Yeah, do you see that? Do you see how intense that made it? So this is one that is not going to be shy when highlighting. So you are going to notice every single fine line on your face when you use this highlighter. That's how intense it is. Even the Pixie one I feel like is a little bit less of a dramatic, like it's going to show every pore in your skin when you have it on. It's still going to be intense, but I feel like this one does the most out of all of them that I'm going to mention, highlight kind of all your pores. The other one that's talked about is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This one is in the shade Be My Highlight. I'm pretty sure it's the only highlight. I do like the packaging of it. It kind of reminds me of the Becca. I can't wear it in the winter because of like how the deep undertone is. It works for me right now in the summer, but it's not necessarily a golden highlight. It's more of kind of like a champagne-y. It's got kind of like a deeper undertone to it, if you can kind of tell. It's not really gold, but it's got kind of like a peachy, deeper undertone. It doesn't, it looks a little orange when I'm not tan, but I really like this when I'm tan. I've been loving it this summer a lot when I've been out and I have a little bit more sun or whatever and my foundation's a little darker. It's really been working well for me then. Next up, I used to rave about this one a lot, is like last year. This is the Physicians Formula Powder Palette Mineral Glow Pearls in Translucent Pearl. It's got this bulky packaging that does not need to be there. Literally the only thing in the product is right here, and we got this huge packaging. So it's kind of more of a pinky tone. This isn't really necessarily a highlight. It's like a glowy kind of powder, but this one still looks really pretty, especially on like natural days. If you're wanting just something nice and glowy but natural, you would really like this a lot. I think just want something that's going to add a little bit of a sheen on your cheekbones but not too much. You would like this one. It's a little more pinky toned, and yeah. Okay, I did a review on these, the Makeup Revolution strobe highlighters. I have it in Everglow lights and holographic lights. Everglow lights, it's like a pinky tone. If I hold this Makeup Revolution one up against this Wet n Wild one, You can kind of tell the Wet n Wild one looks a little bit more like reflectant, like a highlighter, whereas the Makeup Revolution one looks a little bit more of just like a powdery. And so this is more of just a, I like to call it a brightening powder in a way. So it's not necessarily like a shimmery, it's really not shimmery at all. It's not really a shimmery highlight. It's more of a brightening powder, but it does look like it gives a highlighting effect on the cheekbones. So this is something for if you want something really natural, you don't want like this strip of shimmer on your face. You would really like this one in Everglow Lights. They do have other shades in these. If you're wanting kind of a funky holographic one, this one's really not holographic. It's really got more of just a blue shift. Now, if you look at this one, you can see there's actual like glitter in it. I don't know if you can see it. And this one is definitely more kind of like a holographic. You can see there's a little bit of a shift. It's more green shift, but it's not necessarily holographic, if you know what I mean. So those are those. I did do an individual review. I will link in the eye on those. Next is the NYX Illuminator. This is in Ritualistic. I bought this over a year ago, and I just had this, and nobody's talked about it, and I really liked it. And now I kind of am thinking, it's a nice highlight, but it is definitely a little bit more powdery. And I don't know, it is like a good sheen. Like it kind of does look like the Pixie and Aspen Obard one, but maybe just toned down a little bit. And I feel like it's very good, but it does add a little bit of powder and not the best one out there. But it is not a bad highlight, and I think if you have it, I would definitely like use it. Like I don't think it's a bad highlight. It's just not anything amazing. I feel like it's a little more powdery and doesn't give as much of a shimmer as the Pixie one. Another one is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana. So everybody, if you've watched a lot of YouTube videos, especially way back when, talked about this. This is not a bronzer, obviously. This is a highlight. It's kind of just like a brightening powder, but there is a little bit of a shimmer to it. Pull my sleeve down. It's kind of more of a skin neutral tone, and I honestly will use this to set some of my foundation once in a while. If I'm wanting more of a luminous look to my skin, I will set a little bit of foundation with the powder, set my foundation with it kind of like on the outer parts of my face, not necessarily under my eyes, but I really like this. And this also has SPF in it. This one's not bad either for a natural highlighting glow. So the last powder I have is the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. I don't necessarily love this palette as much. This one is a little bit more kind of like that natural. It's a little more powdery. You have a more yellow tone, a pink tone, a beigey tone, and then a little more orange tone. You can tell they're very powdery. I don't even know if you can see that far down there. They are very powdery. They don't stand out very much. And so I really don't care for them that much. You're starting out with makeup and you kind of want something, or even just starting out with highlight, or you want something a little more natural, you would like this because you have different options with colors that you can mix around and play with. But it's not going to be a shimmering highlight like this Pixie and Aspen Obard one. Like you can tell they're not that metallic compared to this one. That's all I have to say. So now I have my creams. I have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Stick and the Illuminator shade When the Nude Strikes. So I'm just going to swatch this on my hand. This is a very pretty shade. It's got like a pinky champagne shift. I don't know, it's really cool. I'll draw it on my hand and then take my beauty blender and dab it on the high points of my cheeks. And I do like it for that. It is more of a, not necessarily very intense, but it does add a pretty good glow, which I really like, especially like in the winter if you're kind of trying to minimize the amount of powder on your face, you would like it. I also have this e.l.f. Shimmering Facial Whip. Now this is in the shade Lilac Petal. So this one is definitely a little bit deeper, especially when you first swatch it. But then you get, it looks pretty dark when you first swatch it. Then kind of once you blend it out, it does leave a lot of a, it is pink, but it does add a cool highlighting effect. So like, I thought, oh, maybe I could use this as a blush. No, it really does like add a pretty shimmeriness to it. So it's not necessarily going to be a blush. You would wear it as a highlight, but it's got quite a bit of pink in it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it does have a lot of pink in it. Those are all of my highlighters. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs it up. Let me know what highlighters I need to own from the drugstore down in the comments, so your favorites. And if you've tried any of these, let me know your thoughts on that. I would love if you would thumbs this video up if you found it helpful and would like more in this series. And I hope you'll subscribe to stay tuned and see my future videos. And until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.